Good evening and welcome to the St. Petersburg By Night podcasting network. Tonight we present to you our Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle. What the hell is that?
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Is That? Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle set in St. Petersburg, Florida, Greater Region. Tonight we are coming to you from the St. Pete by Night Discord. You can also find us on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify in podcast form, and at www.stpetebynight.com. where you can access some amazing one-of-a-kind features, such as our ongoing threat meter. So here at St. Pete, we don't just play Hunter the Reckoning, we also play Werewolf the Apocalypse and Vampire the Masquerade. Come and check us out, come and join the table, see what all the fuss is about. Tonight, however, we're crossing back to our hunters. In the museum in Bradenton. We left them last week somewhat flustered as the realizations of the depths of involvement of Sable in each of their lives. They have quite a few interesting decisions to make and directions to figure out whether they're going to follow. So, as we enter into the slightly decorated, somewhat scattered at times, back room that is their current safe house. Some of the walls lined with books from their personal library, coffee machine that's been going overtime lately, this evening anyway, and a group of 5 stressed out hunters passing a bottle of whiskey between them, which is where we last left them. Let's see where they're at. William, Emory, Ella, Victor, Nick, scene is yours.
Point of clarification. So Nick has, I'm assuming, come out of his meditation, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's
One
still
can
sitting
imagine
there.
that the others had been imbibing whiskey and coffee and discussing and sharing information whilst you were meditating in your corner.
He's just gonna sit there for a minute, kind of coming back to the sense of self. So he's not really kind of... he's still kind of in that lucid, like, half conscious, half, like, analytical conscious kind of thing that you could sometimes fall into when you meditate. So he's just watching everybody else get drunk and eat pizza or whatever.
William is actually over in his office working on the phone. He's actually opened up his one of the drawers on his desk, and it's just filled with unopened bottles of wine that have been in there that he hasn't told anyone about. That he takes one out, sets it on the table, looks at it for a second, takes the second one out, sets it on the table, closes the drawer. As he starts to work on the phone to try to figure out what's going on with that, when he'll be doing that for a couple minutes.
And you've already made your rolls for that, and you do have the information already prepared. So, while William is busy for the next half an hour or so working on Victor's phone, we're going to cross back to Emory, Ella, and Victor, who are still in the room, whilst Nick is slowly starting to step back into the scene. Emory, you were very quiet at the end of last session. Ella and Victor, you both noticed it and you both mentioned you did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Emory.
Yeah.
Feeling okay?
Well, a lot of people have been talking about information that they've got, and I've got some information, but I don't know if it's pertinent, really, at this rate.
I mean, at this point in time, anything can be useful.
I think anything is going to be important, even if we don't think it is.
Well, things I know about Dr. Kruger. Hired originally as an R&D scientist, came recommended from MIT, graduated with honors, moved from the public to the private research, which means she essentially delved a little bit too much into the spooky, and they decided they had to have her because she knew too much, most likely. She was researching anomalies about employees that had left abruptly, which caused her to be placed into working in the supernatural side of things. Employment was terminated after she displayed heightened obsession with blending vampire abilities in a genetic capacity, which culminated in her attempting to smuggle samples out of the facility. It says attempting. I don't know if she was successful in any of that.
That's fucked up.
Smuggling samples, what does that mean?
I mean,
don't know.
she wanted to maybe create her own little vampire, I guess.
Maybe
I
trying
mean,
to do some home brewing stuff.
Yeah. Maybe that's why she wanted, the binder.
Possibly.
It also explains her obsession with wanting a live sample.
Very true. Information I have on Robert Mercius, known previous professor of spiritual manifestations and supernatural forensic studies of the organization known as the Arcanum, as we perchance knew. Records show that he was exiled due to accusations of plagiarism in his work. They know he currently resides in Bradenton, though he is possibly run by now. Records show that he potentially works for an offshoot of the Arcanum, but not in an outwardly fashion, i.e. William. They also know that he's closely related to William, so I'm not sure why they didn't get that connected, but they didn't. And then I also have some information on your dare, Sally Dinkley.
Yeah, shoot me. Yeah, he's going to take the bottle with him. Yeah, go on.
Pass it over.
Doctor of Forensic Medicine and Mortuary Science. Sorry, I can't speak. Currently employed at the funeral home in Bradenton, Sarasota, as we know. Was suspected sighted in Montana after a breach incident in Monster X's facility, causing a civilian fatality. No other suspicious activities noted from her. That's pretty much all I got.
I mean, that checks out what my mother told me. Someone
Mom-
escaped after the tests she received from maybe Monster X or Sable, I don't know. Maybe it's two different things.
Yeah, you said it was a Monster X facility?
That's what was indicated to me, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that's related then.
Well, it stands to reason. Why is Sally and your mother working together if she's a Monster X and your mom isn't?
Yeah.
Or wasn't?
Creak. It could also be that Sable owns a percentage of stock in Monster X, and so therefore they sometimes they do like the brain swap thing that a lot of companies do, where they trade their talent amongst each other because they're both owned under similar holdings corporations, or one holdings corporation owns a little bit of another one. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to doing the digital thing. Also, did you say Robert was related to me?
What? No. It could also be that essentially wrong place, wrong time. Maybe Sally was there, had an opportune moment, and saved someone.
Yeah, sure. The only thing I don't understand it's why my father have that and is going to, to show the rifle that he always carry with him, basically. I mean, if he wasn't involved in that, why that was on his belongings, basically.
Who told you that it was his weapon? Could it have been your mother's and they're just kind of fibbing?
I mean, she doesn't need a weapon. If she did really that to my father, to be fair. And I mean, I found that in my dad's, stuff.
Does it work like Connor? Is your weapon imbued with your dad?
No, I don't sense any hands on me. Sorry, when I shoot. It's
an intelligence. Can I make this an intelligence insight roll, please, Victor?
okay.
Oh shit.
Let me just okay. Intelligence and insight. Thank you.
While Nexus is rolling that, Nicholas will interject because he was listening the whole time. Emory, I think you're missing a bit of string here and there. It is known that Sable tends to pick up those who have been kicked out of other organizations. And it's very possible with that connection Sally has to Monster X, she was probably working for Monster X. And when the incident happened, they kicked her, because then she became a liability.
Yeah, but why involving you after that?
True, but if they're willing to give me information about why Kruger was deployed out, why Why wouldn't they give me Sally's?
Was above his pay grade clearance wise, probably, would be my guess.
Could
If
be.
it was bad enough.
Makes them look bad.
Victor, you have a think about that rifle. Your dad's always had that rifle. For as long as you can remember. You grew up watching him maintain it, sight it in the back of the property. Take some amazing shots with it. So as far as you know, your dad's always had it. And he always used to tell you that one day it would be yours. One day he would be ready to tell you where he got it from. That day never happened.
It's just, with everything that happened, I'm reconsidering everything, but it was my father's weapon, like his rifle, and he told me like someday I could take it, So I don't know, makes no sense to me.
Do you think your mom might know?
Yeah, but I don't. I tried to ask her, but she didn't have the time or the clearance to actually tell me. She was in a hurry, like I could feel it. She's going to leave the city. I don't know why. And now
When-
Sally is in all of that shit as well.
When Victor says clearance, Nicholas doesn't say anything, but he says it with his face and cocks an eyebrow at that. And he's going to file that away for later.
Okay?
See, again, the only thing and the other thing is why involving you, Nick, with the cleanup. They could send anyone for that.
Well, clearly we know Sable's been playing a long con where they wanted us all together for a long time for whatever reason. Give me 1 second. Let me go back and reread something. Nick takes a minute. Jack has always made sure to send me to places I was already planning on going to anyway. Almost like he was trying to protect me from something. And it was very odd. He knew about Layla's death well before anyone else should have. That wasn't there when it happened. In some capacity.
Do you
Layla.
think he's... Sorry.
Ella.
I don't know.
Who's Layla?
Oh, my late fiance.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's like 20 years ago at this point.
Still.
It happens. She
I have a
she was ripped apart pretty gruesomely by something that I only could describe as a werewolf. But now I'm starting to question if that was even real, considering what we know about Sable. The fact that Sable has had their paws involved in us a lot longer than we all realized. And I
Yeah.
think Jack was trying to stop me from getting picked up by Sable from the get-go.
You think he was
So
trying to stop it instead of being the one to bring you in?
Yep. That's why he
Yes.
always kept me on the outskirts. And ultimately, I think he suggested me coming to Florida for that vacation because he finally ran out of whatever authority he had to stop it.
I have a question. Do you know about the relationship between, like, organization of hunters? Because-
No, and after this experience, I don't think I ever want to deal with one again, aside from William.
Because this is a wild guess, but that's the only thing I can, think of is, do you think it's a competition thing? Like, in between orgs? Because clearly my dad was a hunter. Nobody has, like, an artifact weapon with him. Like, just for, for shit and giggles. So, can an orc attack another orc by removing their assets?
I would assume so.
It's certainly feasible.
That's a form of social engineering, and I wouldn't put it past them if they would be desperate enough to get certain people involved and to join them to make plays to take out the things that would be the inciting incident, if you will.
Removing assets like that is a common... When wealth is no longer a matter of issue, targeting other assets becomes something people have a tendency to do. There's often for people who have a lot of money, targeting somebody's funds is no longer satisfying anymore. Targeting something else that is more important than that is something that people do. Noted. An aristocrat.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to do now?
Well, first things first. Pretty sure he throws the phone on the table. If I know my technique, and I do, my mentor got fucking recruited by Sable. Probably. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the case. Because I sent a packet just like that at one time to Uber, and this time sent a similar packet and the data was gone. So I think... I don't know where he went. He disappeared on me. My little stoner tech buddy friend, Grover, disappeared on me. However,
Right.
I only know one person who's that good. And if I know two people, it's me and Grover.
So,
Also,
He kidnapped
Emory-
himself?
are you saying Grover got recruited?
What I'm saying is, I should have had access to these call logs. And now I don't.
Also, Emory,
Yes.
I was there at the event that Robert got called into the plagiarism got called into play.
Hmm.
It was like a paranormal convention that I went to.
Cool. It's weird that
So
you were
yes.
there. Cool.
Emory, I'm offended. It's like you don't even know me.
You do seem to show up at the places that seem to be affecting us quite easily. Have you ever been to Boston?
No, I've never been to Boston, and I don't think I care to after this. After what you just said. Nothing against the fine Bostonians.
We won't
However,
take offense, son.
However, after this, I don't think I'm going anywhere that anyone suggests me to go for a long time.
What if I told you in Boston there's a really pretty library?
Does it have the uwu spooky shit in it?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
If it's an old building in Boston, a lot of it probably has the ooh spooky shit in it.
I'm not gonna take my chances. It's probably hot.
Well.
Why are you trying to get me to go to Boston? What the hell?
I'm not. I was asking if you have in the past because, we have issues with things that happened in Boston as well.
It's pretty, and my partner's ex-partner's there.
Freudian slip there, William.
Look, he broke up with me. I'm trying. I tried to make it work.
We've had that conversation anyway. William. Nicholas is going to walk over to the kettle that he brought that says tea only. And is going to make a pot of tea for himself and make a hot toddy out of the whiskey.
If you guys
We have to
continue
contact
down this path, I'm going to need you all to make a... I would like a stamina and athletics roll from all of you, please.
Stamina and athletics?
To be fair, I don't know. Did Nick have as much to drink as everybody else because he took a break for about an hour? How is that going to work?
I'm not going to hurt. Nick cannot make the roll, but anyone else who is consistently, continually drinking, I would like you to make this roll, please.
Cole, I want you to know, you know how big my pool is. I rolled 1 success, and it was a 10. Does that count as a crit for my pool? Does it count as a whole 2 successes?
No.
Why do you have a what? Do you have 1 in that pool?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
By the time you finish doing the work, William, you will be at a 1 dice penalty to any rolls regarding awareness or wits. Emory with 3 successes, you are fine.
I also got 3.
You are fine as well.
Okay.
Victor, you are fine as well. You are tipsy, but you are not inebriated, nor are your reflexes impaired at this point in time. William, however, 1 dice penalty, 2 wits and awareness rolls.
It could be worse.
We have to talk to Granny then. I mean, this is the only person with Deb, of course, who actually
Deb
doesn't.
I can say with almost 100% certainty, Victor, Deb doesn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, me too. She seems too occupied to do stuff like that.
She's
However,
a Fed, so we have other reasons to not like her. But
Well, she has reasons not to like you. There's a difference.
Hey, you're too harsh with her.
Remind me, out of character, did Nicholas ever find out that she was an ex-Leopoldite? I can't remember.
Nope.
So, I have a question because
the tattoo, because he would know the symbol and he would know from the tattoo. So he can 2 plus 2 equals share it, but there was no definitive confirmation.
So y'all have been here a little bit longer than I have, and I'm still confused about Granny and how she fits into all these puzzle pieces. Was she a part of an organization and then left or got kicked out or whatever?
Was that part of our conversation with Granny when Emory and Ella went? I can't remember.
She essentially told us that she was retired from an org, but didn't explain what the org was.
Okay.
I don't know. She seems to be, again, mysteriously impaired.
She is no longer mysteriously impaired, though.
Yeah, but she was. And we know for sure the little CC Kruger was somewhere around here at some point. Again, we weird things happen. A lot of people get impaired
Hit
or
in the
killed.
crossfire.
Does that mean Cece's a witch? Somebody's a witch.
Cece,
Not
I don't know.
everybody's a
At this point,
witch.
Cece is done right now. Like, from what I heard, she's not here anymore. What
Oh yeah, I ruined her life.
do you mean?
What'd you do? What did you do?
Oh, nothing.
How about we tell people what we've
Inside
actually
check.
done?
With an inside check, please, Victor. Anybody else who would like to do so can do so. With an insight. Yes, the discerning eyes will come into play.
Beautiful.
Wits and
I'll
awareness.
pass.
I
Or
feel like
inside.
this was a good time to say that. I don't feel bad about saying that. I rolled 1 success on my trying to hide it.
Yep.
3 successes.
5.
This is what happens when you don't have your lucky milk. We've been over this. Anyway, continue.
So,
My lucky milk.
he's spinning bullshit. He did something. And he feels very pleased with himself about it too.
What did you do? I don't believe you.
Is it gonna
Well-
come back on us?
There is
I mean,
no way for what I did to be traced. I made sure of that. I was very successful.
I mean,
What if
I
Grover was recruited? Couldn't he?
Nah, most likely not. You see, it's one of those things when it comes to hacking where it's really hard to tell if somebody's hacked if they've actually covered their tracks properly. You can't really tell after the fact. You have to be able to catch it either during the act or you have to set up a defense beforehand that'll catch somebody while they're doing it. If after the fact you try to go back and look, it's really hard to tell unless you know exactly what you're looking for, and even then every single individual hacker has their own individual marks and their own individual way of doing things, so it winds up being something that you can't really see unless you know what you're doing, and so it becomes this thing of like, odds are,
William,
even if he is able to... Oh,
I'm
are
sorry.
you
I
drunk?
asked.
no, long story short, I covered my tracks. There's no way for you to... But I did ruin her life. That stays here in this building. Nobody ever talks about that, or I will indeed hit you all with a chair if I can pick it up.
Since we're keeping it all a secret, what did you do?
Yeah, what
Like-
exactly?
Layman terms, what was the causation of what you did?
I flamed it for plagiarism.
Okay, nope. Come on.
Oh, come
I
on,
framed-
Emory. You heard that.
Use your words. I need to hear it clearly.
I framed her for plagiarism.
Okay.
Why?
You pulled a Robert. Got it.
So, question for you. The org that I've checked out knows that you have a connection with Robert and knows that he was a person who was accused of plagiarism. I don't think people aren't gonna kind of connect that. That maybe someone who has, I don't know, a vendetta against Dr. Kruger and knows that this is a serious infraction might do that, and it might tie to you.
Every
I mean-
academic in the world knows how serious plagiarism is, and when coming to the concept of, working at MIT and having a degree from MIT where plagiarism, even the merest baseless accusation of plagiarism could get your degree in
Question.
review, could get your degree in question. Literally any academic in the world, if somehow they find out, despite the fact that I completely covered my tracks and made absolutely certain that all of the evidence was there and backdated properly,
Emory.
even though
Emory.
despite that fact, C.C. Kruger, even with all of that in mind, there would be hundreds of thousands of people who C.C. Kruger has inevitably pissed off with the way that she acted. A lot of academics probably do not like her. It could literally be anyone. It could have been her own advisor who just decided, okay,
No.
I'm done.
We are not always agreeing on something, but I mean, she has been dealt with in my last conversation with our employer, so I mean, we can cut him some slack.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm just worried about the repercussions of the fact that Sable knows who we are, Sable knows who Robert is, and Robert was accused of that, and now one of their own is being accused of that by someone who's been able to cover their tracks. It's a concern. It's not. I'm not trying to downplay what we did. I think it's great, but it's still a concern that we need to watch out.
I mean, if she shows up with a gun, we'll just shoot her.
Okay.
Nick is just, at this point, checked out of the drunken William and is sitting on the couch sipping his hot toddy.
Nick, can we have some lavender? Again.
Oh, wait! He kind of perks up at that. He sets his little teacup down. He rummages around in his bag, and he pulls out an entire pound of lavender and chucks it at Victor's head.
Thank you.
Because now that he owns a metaphysics shop, he can do that and get it wholesale. He's just like, huh! Catch!
I take a syringe.
I would like... I would like a dexterity athletics check, please, to catch the lavender. I'll get the same from Nick, please, to throw it.
Oh, no.
Dexterity and athletics?
Dex and athletics to catch it, strength and athletics to throw it.
Strength and athletics?
You're throwing it. Or are you trying to precision hit him in the head with the lavender?
No, he's not trying to hit him at all.
Okay. Strength and athletics.
He's
just so drunk.
3. Okay. Oh, that's actually not bad. On a 3-die pool, I rolled 2. I'll take it.
Okay. Victor?
I'm keeping it. I don't care. 1.
The nerd outrolled the army man. Holy shit.
Just for a reminder, I'm on the same couch as Emory.
Oh, that's rude.
So, you throw the 1 pound of dried lavender at Victor's
A lot of lavender.
That's a lot of dried lavender.
A pound of lavender is a lot of lavender.
Uh-huh. And Victor was very much not expecting this. He puts his hand up to grab it. His watch band just grabs the edge of the plastic and it rips open. Spraying
my lavender!
And the whole area with dried lavender petals.
Yes, it would be the flower, not the buds before they bloom. Correct. You read my mind.
Okay. I was gonna say, what does it look? Does it look like we have illegal substances in here?
Little purple seeds everywhere.
Does it at least smell good?
It
smells like lavender.
And you are coated in it. It's not like it's sticky. It's just like someone threw a handful of dried herbs at you, basically. But it's lavender bits.
Herbs.
Lavender bits. And the smell of lavender just pungently slowly starts to fill the room. Not in a toxic way, but this isn't coming out of the carpet and the couch in a hurry.
You were right, Nick. I'm feeling like more calm now.
This reminds me of a party with Jeff.
Except from what I've got from Jeff. Speaking of Jeff.
Where is he?
About that? Are we going to do anything about that?
He was probably kidnapped by Sable. Knowing all of this going on. He's probably dead already.
I mean, Ella and I could probably put out like an APB for him or something.
Nah, it's fine. Everyone I've ever loved dies.
Oh boy.
William! Honey!
Does he still have the 2 bottles of wine in front of him? Yeah? Ella's just gonna go.
One's empty. One's probably in his hands as he's come back in. About half full.
Ella's just gonna go up and it's time to give me the wine. You've had enough.
I think I've had enough.
I think you've had enough too, buddy.
Nick has
I
just sat
think I
back on
have
the
enough.
side of the opposite side of the couch from Emory, Ella, and Victor. Kind of pats for William to come sit beside him as he picks back up his little teacup and drinks his hot toddy.
I think I have enough too.
It's not that bad, Victor. Come on.
You know what? I think she
I
goes
just
up and
swallowed
gets the
some.
whiskey bottle too, and she goes and puts all of the alcohol in a shelf. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we need to lay off for the rest of the night.
Well,
Does that include
Yeah.
coffee?
Fuck you.
I was
Nick
about to
chuckles.
make the same joke. High five.
I high five him as best as he can.
It's very
Look at
it's
the
very
elbow.
sloppy.
It's like hitting a moving
Look at the-
target. That's it. That's it.
William, look at the elbow. Look at Emory's elbow. You'll get it right, buddy. Just pats. What?
You see
You've
3
never heard-
elbows.
Just accidentally hits Emory very gently across the face.
She pulls out her gun, shoots him.
Ah!
Fool!
Months.
It didn't happen. It's fine. Rewrite.
It just happened in Emery's mind. It's fine.
As the mood seems to lighten, as much as the lavender is everywhere and few sneezes are had, there is a brief little bit of brevity that does remind you that maybe it could be okay. Now, as William sits there and mourns everyone in his life dying, probably slowly going to sleep curled up on the couch, one of the sofas, hugging a pillow or a book and drooling on it, as he is wont to do.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he ended up across Nick's lap, and Nick is just like, okay, well, I'm stuck here now. The cat is on me. Dear God, if I move, hell will have to be paid.
Nick and Victor, you have done some research as to what you're going to do the next day. You had mentioned lightening the mood. Did you guys want to plan for that?
Nah, who plans for things?
Okay.
No, that's a joke. That is a joke. I take it back. No. John is the chaos. Nick would plan this out.
Okay.
So yes, we'd be doing some planning.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to hop to a break. And when we come back, it will be the next morning where a few people are going to go visit some people. Some research might be done, and maybe some brevity added to the situation. We'll see. So everybody go grab a bio, grab a drink, grab a snack, move your bodies, and we'll see you back here in a couple of minutes.
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaborations with our partnered vendors: Wolfpack Dice, Ember Fox Dice, Dragon Ink Dice, Farrah the Bard, Champs Tramps, Pantry Artista, Chromatic Creations. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stbynight.com. The official theme song for St. Petersburg by Night is Vampire by Faith and Failure. You can find them at faithandfailure.com. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all socials with the hashtag St. Pete by Night. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at ko-fi.com/St. Pete by Night to help keep the stories rolling.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you got to move your body, grabbed a good drink. Whether it be a stiff one or a soft one, that's up to you. And make sure you're comfortable. Apparently, that's just where my brain is tonight, everybody. It's fine. After an evening spent in the library, probably drinking a little bit more, letting William sleep a bit of the alcohol off, Nick and Victor some of the evening was spent towards the end of the night figuring out a way to maybe lighten the mood. Find something else to distract your thoughts. And Nick, your thoughts are recalled back to the, for lack of a better term, treasure map.
Mm-hmm.
Map with marked locations of shipwrecks and other local oddities that you can look into. Whether it be along Bradenton, down to Sarasota, and all the way up around St. Petersburg and Tampa area.
Mm-hmm.
A treasure hunt might be just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, it definitely is.
However, looking at the tides, and low tide's a good time to be looking at a shipwreck. A little bit less water to deal with. You realise that you won't be able to get there to a good view until about lunchtime on Sunday. So, I believe you had also both discussed possibly going and catching up with Granny.
Now that the curtain has been pulled, the metaphorical curtain has been pulled, and things are making sense. I think both Victor and Nicholas have questions for our dearest grandmother.
Of course. So you get up the next morning. Who picks up whom?
Nick is impartial, he doesn't care, so he texts Victor, do you want me to come get you, or do you want to come get me? Either way, I don't care.
I'm going to pick you up. It's fine.
Fun! Exclamation point. And then he finishes getting ready and just like, okay, you know where I live.
Smiley face.
Oh, someone's being flirty. Anyway, what? Wrong character. Anyway. Nick, while he's waiting on Victor to get there, has decided to do what Nick does when he is confronted with issues. And has decided to very quickly pull some tarot cards.
Okay.
To which he drew the Five of Cups reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. And then for the clarification card was the Hanged Man reversed. Which I think is very, if anyone knows anything about tarot, the clarification card is spicy. And Nick, not even really caring about the rest of the reading, sees that and is just like, I'm going to leave that for later and come back and think on it. But he just kind of puts them on his little altar space. And then just kind of finishes getting ready and walks out.
Okay. Victor, as you get up and go about your morning, Lily is in bed. You hear her snoring. You also hear a second snoring coming from her bedroom. As you remember, that evening, Brandon was at the house.
Going to everything that he has, like a gear, his weapon on the bag with him. He's going to. She's been through a lot lately, so just before, like maybe 10 minutes or so, just before he leaves, he's going to do like a breakfast, like and he's going just to leave a note, like a nice note for Lily, basically. And he's going to do the same. He's going just to do the breakfast for 2, and he's going to leave the house and close the door.
As you head down, go and hop in your car and head over to Nick's house.
How was it? How is it? I've never been there.
Oh, Nick, I remember Victor being there one time. Am I misremembering that?
No, you have picked him up there from there once. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot.
No, I was like, oh no, next Victor's just driving around Bradenton because Nick forgot to text him the address. He's in La La Land right now, so he's probably not looking at his phone.
So, Victor turns up, waiting at the front. Whether he knocks on the door or not is up to you.
Going to text
Sorry,
him.
Your phone buzzes with a
I'm
text
here.
from Victor.
Okay, Nick comes out with like a little backpack, and he's wearing a bathing suit and a tank top, like board short style bathing suit. He's got his hair pulled back, and he's wearing those shoes, for lack of a better term, that are like the water shoes that give you like the webbed feet feeling, so your feet get wet but you don't get sand in between your toes, that are also supposed to be just really comfortable to walk in, period. So he's wearing a pair of those like diving gear type shoes.
And they're also known as beachcomber shoes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
those. And he has, in his backpack, he's packed a first aid kit. He has packed sunblock. He has also packed various miscellaneous sundry items, and he's wearing his necklace that he always wears. Proudly on display.
So, this being about 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning, and the flea market is not too far, you are more than capable of getting there. Do you guys discuss anything on your way?
I'm excited to actually go explore for a change.
Yeah, me too. I need to get away from everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what you are going to ask to Granny yet?
I do, and I don't think she's going to like what I'm going to ask her, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
I'm liking that.
I mean, look, she has been dancing around topics not because I think she's a part of this conspiracy, but because she's trying to save her own ass.
Yep.
And that's totally fair and valid.
Do you think it could be related to a student, hurrying towards the exit at William's house?
She was
Covering
dropping...
house.
The conversation that I had with Granny was her trying to subtly be like, hey, there's some deception afoot, and I'm speaking in double speak to not say it in front of the people who are involved, because as we know, they were there.
Yeah, of course, makes sense.
So
Things so done.
I'm just gonna directly ask her at this point, because I feel like there's no more point beating around the bush now that we're basically gonna tell her we figured it out, and exactly how she knew about all of this from the get-go, if she's not a part of Sable. I have a theory that she might have tried to been recruited by Sable, and it failed miserably. For Granny is but a force of will, if anything.
Do you think some Sable has planned her? Well, I told you about the stuck in time problem with her, at her shop, our first mission.
I kind of wish I had been there for that.
Sorry,
It's not your fault, my friend. However, if you have a detailed record of what happened, I may be able to parse through it and see. That sounds like some next level magic that I don't believe exists on this planet anymore, if it ever did.
If I recall correctly, we enter our shop. She was blocked and really reduced to be a little lady with free memory of seconds of actual short memory, basically. Everything was. She was deranged at this point. She left everything everywhere. She keeps repeating herself. She was talking to ghosts as well, like as if they have been there. I mean, to be fair, they were
I mean,
in a way.
she does have the ability to, in some fashion, form sense the unnatural. So
Yeah,
talking to ghosts isn't that far of a stretch for someone who can do that.
yeah. Of
Also,
course,
we have her
it's-
grandchild on our bookcase.
Yeah, I know. I know. No. I know. Don't get me wrong on that. It's just as they are here, alive and well, like in the room with us. I wasn't able to see them until the father with us, helped us and stuff. And somebody has done something with urns of the family of Granny, basically, with weird sigils on them. And William did something like, how to say that? Scrub a little bit on that, and the spell was broken in a way. And not all of the ghosts here were not agreeing on staying, but were bounding to stay here.
It's at about
It
this
was
time
weird.
you turn up at the flea market. You actually arrive.
Can Nick make an occult roll?
Intelligence occult.
Yeah, to kind of
Yeah.
parse through, because John kind of has an idea, but Nick may not pick up on it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Nick. It was my first supernatural thing, I guess. So wasn't a monster.
I mean, I guess it depends on if you consider spirits monsters, Victor, but that's
Eh.
a different story.
They're already dead.
Oh,
So
that is not
I don't know.
good. That's good.
Is throwing shoes a crime for a ghost? Like,
There we go. That's 5 successes. Spin a wheel.
With 5 successes, there are many rituals that involve urns, ashes, binding a spirit to a location, using something that is of the dead. There are quite a few different sigils or runes that can be used as part of that kind of binding. The spirits can be bound to an area or a location for many different reasons. They can be bound there to guard something, to protect something, just to be a pain, to punish the spirit, to punish the person whose location it is. There's no definitive. It's the stuck in time one that catches you. You have heard of certain rituals and, for lack of a better term, spells that can create like a straight lengthen time. You've heard of ones that can shorten time, but most of it's been speculation. Obviously there's ones in Celtic mythology where time is lengthened, where you go into a cave and you come out and it's 100 years later. It's always attributed to the Fae. But you have in some of your dealings heard whispers of individuals that can manipulate time and create loops. It is attributed to mage activity. But without the information that Victor has given you, that's about all you know.
Huh.
At this time, you are in the car park of the flea market. It's about 20 past 9, 9:30 in the morning.
Interesting. I didn't know there were any of those still around. Well,
I
that's
don't know.
not good if there's any left around here. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to give you a panic.
The only one left is, the journal of Ella with the boy in it. You know?
Not what I'm talking about, Victor.
Oh, sorry.
I will tell you when you're older. Come on, let's go to get that.
Yeah, come on, man.
So you guys hop out and you head on in. Do you go directly to Granny's antique store? Or do you ponder around first?
Nick wants, if Alicia is there specifically, he is going to go get some fries for Brecky. Some breakfast fries.
She is there. She usually works morning shift. Comes back, she does the splits. So she does morning and then afternoon/evening. Has lunchtime off. Something that Emory would know because they meet for lunch at times.
He's not here to steal Emory's girl. He just wants some of those bomb-ass fries she made.
So you walk on in and Alicia is behind the counter getting set up for the day. She's like, "Hey, how can I help you today?"
You made those really good fries the last time I was here. Can I get some of those?
Wasn't me, it was our cook, but yeah, I can definitely.
I'm kind of hungry. I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast.
Yeah, I can definitely get some of those for you. And she looks behind you to Victor. Anything for you, sir?
Same here.
Okay, 2 orders fries coming right up. And she sort of rings the order and ducks it out to the kitchen. Comes back out about 5 minutes later. And these are some piping hot, lightly salted, just on the money fries. Little baskets of fries you can sort of walk and nibble with. Any drinks as well?
What kind of soda products do you have?
She sort of turns around and there's your standard array. Not going to mention the name for copyright and legal purposes.
Yeah.
But the more common red cans and that variety.
Yeah. Oh, good. The better of the red cans. The better of the cans. Okay. He's gonna get one of the. Did they have any in bottles? And I'm being very pedantic about this. I'm sorry.
No, they would not. It is just a flea market. Bottles don't last as long as cans.
Well, Nick is gonna get a red can.
So you get your drink, and your fries are handed to you. Are you gonna sit and eat, or are you gonna wander?
Nick is wanting to get, now that he doesn't feel like he's in a rush because we have 3 hours to kill and he doesn't imagine talking to Granny's going to take too terribly long, he is going to meander and sort of sippy sip and chompy chomp as he goes along on his red can of soda pop. And
Hold on.
he is looking...
Sorry.
Oh,
Go on.
he is... Sorry. We both keep taking pauses. I'm sorry. He is looking for antique weaponry, specifically knives and daggers.
I'm gonna get a wits and investigation from you. And what were you gonna do there, Victor?
I was just going to mention something to Nick. He's keeping an eye on the flea market. But the passive eye, like, he's just done right now. He just won his prize, and that's it. Yeah.
Yep. It's like, something's gonna kill me, I might as well do it now. I don't fucking care anymore. Is that sort of what I'm getting from you there? It's like, I'm done with this shit. Just fucking, I'm done. So, what did you get on that wits investigation?
2.
Most of the places here don't have anything really antique. You find someone selling cheap pocket knives. Not really anything worth. You know, you might give it to an 8-year-old for their first pocket knife, and they're going to go and stab themselves with it 5 minutes later, sort of thing. It's one of those things. You do not find any antique weapons at all, or anything that remotely fits what you're looking for.
Hmm.
You do find a slightly cool dress-up pirate sword, though.
No.
Like a pirate's costume
Man.
sword. That's about
Like
the
a
best
rapier?
Yeah,
Or a cutlass?
more like a cutlass than a rapier.
Okay.
It is made out of like metal, but it's not like it's very flimsy, bit of aluminium, and it's like
Yeah.
floppy, and
It's a
like
prop sword, not a I'm gonna murder
100%.
you sword. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick was looking for a new ritual dagger, and he thought, what better place to get an antique, potentially, than the flea market?
Not at this one today, unfortunately, with only 2 successes.
That's okay. That's
Now
impressive
that
that,
I'm-
he got those 2 successes.
Now that I'm picking on it, Nick, I remember 2 things. We know 2 things. I think we know somebody was going into the store, like a bare feet man going into the store at some point. But we have confirmation of, our little friend doctor, who is not a doctor anymore, I guess. Going here too. But I prefer to mention it just to be sure.
So, a little
Anything?
man who could have been friends of the doctor, not doctor, I guess, person. Yeah.
Maybe he's just a barefoot man.
Just a little guy.
I
Hit him with
guess.
your car.
Yeah.
After an hour or 2 of wandering around, wondering if Victor has some of that lavender stuck in a hole somewhere, maybe in his hair, and sort of impacting the way
He
he's
is
thinking.
very calm. It's kind of
I'm
scary.
chill.
Nick is just gonna start making little lavender and like calming crystal little satchels for him, just to
This
start
works,
sneaking
this
on him.
works.
It's clearly working. He must have just bathed in the lavender the night before and totally just majestically came out with a nice calm blue aura.
After wandering around looking through the flea market, you guys come to Granny's shop. As always, the front doors are open, and you can see, standing behind the counter, take a few notes in what appears to be a stock book. Granny. Camille Justice herself.
Well, kind of clears his throat to announce that he's there, that he and Victor are there.
She sort of half looks up and goes, wondering when you guys were going to turn up again.
We're not the quickest on the draw, I'm sorry.
I
Yeah,
noticed.
we messed up.
Got a minute?
I suppose. Give me a moment. She sort of looks around. There's no one in the store at the moment. Still, it's just like business is a bit slow at the moment. I'm sure I could take a 10-minute. She walks over behind us, pulls down the front doors, pops a sign, flips it around to close, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. Come on. Calls you over to the counter at the back, leans on it. So what's going on now?
I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You're retired, so I've put together. And you've been kind of dropping hints this whole time about what was going on. I'm genuinely curious, how the hell, pardon my French, did you find out about all this?
She leans forward over the counter, and she's short, so it's a slightly comical view. It's more like the elbows come forward and the head's on the hands, and she's like, "You'll have to be slightly more specific when you say about all of this. Do you mean how the hell did I figure out how to see a ghost? And figure out that my family likes to hang around and annoy me occasionally? Even though they've passed over? How the hell did I find out the grimoires," and she sort of gestures to you, other information about the local area might be pertinent for different people? Or
Specifically about the whole issue we have come across with, and he leans in, gets kind of down because he doesn't want to say it too loud. Sable. Then he backs up so she doesn't backhand him.
she sort of smiles and has a little bit of a smirk at how quickly it moves. It's come to a head, has it?
Oh, it's come to a tsunami. The head passed.
You
week
have
ago.
no idea. No one could know about that.
Unless they were involved. And I don't think you are, or you wouldn't be helping us.
What's going to be?
I'm going to tell you a little story.
I love story time. And Nick gets kind of wiggles and just, he is prepared for Granny to tell him a story because he is wanting to know the tea since she dropped the hint.
Once upon a time, there was a young lady who could see spirits, but everyone told her she was crazy, so she learned to hide it. And after a while, she met someone else who could. They got married and shared a family. Shared a life. Through their faith, they learned to go and help other people find said spirits, and were told they were releasing them to be free with the Lord, so they could be at peace. And then over time, they found that those spirits were not at peace. They were trapped. Yet again, not where they were found, but by people who sought to use these spirits for other reasons. Use their powers for different reasons. Experiment on them. Use them to funnel and create all sorts of chaos and wards and charms. One of which your friend here and the rest of your compatriots helped me out of. The girl and her partner gave up most of their lives for this cause. When they realized the truth, they left. They were approached by other individuals, claimed they knew the vile nature of where they had already left, and attempted to convince them to work for them instead. And they refused. There is only so much coincidence that I can bear. Everyone in my life was lost through supposed natural means, unprovable to be anything else. I am alone, Mr. Flynn. And I don't know why I have been left alone, but everything else was ripped away from me. Trust me, I understand. So I do know. The girl knows just how serious it can be. How many of you lost yet? 1, 2? How many of your friends have you lost yet? How many are gone? My entire friend group is gone. You still have at least 2 of you. You haven't lost any of the others yet, have you?
Nope. Not yet. Didn't do. Hopefully.
I figured at least Ella was still around. Connor hasn't come back to talk to me.
Hmm. William's still around and kicking. It's like a cockroach, I swear.
Clever one.
Yeah. Emory and Victor are alright, I suppose. He smirks over Victor.
So, what about not being alone anymore? We kind of need the help of someone. And I don't believe in coincidence. You've been already targeted at some point here, right?
Yeah. Strangely enough, though, this target actually wasn't that target. That one was. Completely different again. When you know what I know, and you can see what I can see, a lot of people seek to use you for their gain.
Yeah.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, Randy. However, the offer will be on the table for me and Victor.
I appreciate it. But you're too young. All of you are. If I get involved, the threat's gonna double for you. I don't want to lose anything else in this world.
Understood.
It's already bad enough Alicia likes to try and treat me like I'm her grandmother. She's a good girl. She doesn't deserve to get caught up in this.
Maybe we
Not at
can make
all.
it pay at some point.
Okay. So is that all you
You don't
wanted to
believe in
hear?
that?
That's all you wanted to hear? Just a story?
He's going to look at Nick.
Sorry, did you
That was
say
it.
something, Nick?
I said that. He said, I wasn't expecting a story, I was just expecting a straight answer of yes or no, but the story is actually much appreciated. Because I feel like I think most of us at this point could relate to that story.
It's gone that far, huh?
Things just, those threads that we talked about the last time I was here by myself and at William's garden party, yeah, those things just keep slowly, surely unraveling.
That was not a
Different
good
episode.
place to be for me. I went because I owed a debt. William and the others are the reason that I have my mind back. I was there because
We've
I owed
talked
a
about
debt.
Quite a bit.
Hmm.
Is it... Was it what I think it was?
I can talk to spirits, not read minds, Nick.
Same thing. I'm kidding. He chuckles at himself because he thinks he's being funny. Anyway, were you stuck in a time loop by a mage?
You're more intelligent than I thought. Essentially, yes.
Huh.
Because I was useful. Further his
Huh.
own goals. Got nothing to do with what you're dealing with.
Oh, I know.
I'm
It was...
just good at locating certain artifacts, that's all. When you've been doing the job for as long as I have, you get good at it.
Also, I don't know if it was ever mentioned, but I heard... Actually, I don't know. Real quick, out of character. Was Nick told that when they saw Cece, she took something from Granny's place? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if Ella and Emory in their comings and goings have mentioned this, but according to what they told me, the video footage, someone took something from your shop while it was going on.
That's highly possible. If it's what
like
I
a-
think it is, good luck to them. If they're still in one piece, good luck to them. That's all I can say.
I believe it, out of character, just remind me again, it was like a binder. Like a white.
No,
'Cause
the thing
Nick
that
was-
was taken
oh.
was a small box.
Okay. Like a small box? Little box? What I
And
was
what was
told?
inside said box is the reason why I say good luck. Because if they do not have the strength of will to manage what was inside it, there will be nothing left of them. Considering I haven't heard of individuals being ripped to shreds or any mutilation occurring for a while, I think we're good. Whoever it is at least has some measure of strength and have been able to manage it well, so that should be fine.
Huh. Well, now I'm curious. What was in the box?
That one is outside of your pay grade. But
Fine.
considering you know this much, lets me know I need to shift my security again. And, maybe rearm myself. This won't always be sufficient. She reaches under the counter and pulls out a shotgun, just puts it on the counter in front of you.
Nick chuckles and looks
Might-
at Victor. It's
Might need something a bit better than this. What do you reckon, boys?
I mean, it's Florida. I'm sure you could get away with it. So go for it. I'm not a gun person per se. Not like Victor. That's a Victor question.
Your hands are too soft. It tracks.
Yeah, just don't try long shot with that.
She sort of
Those and
turns
small-
and looks at Victor. I was shooting before you were even a twinkle in your daddy's eye, you little shit.
Oh, by the way, I have a question for you.
Sure,
If-
insult me and then ask me something. What do you want now?
He's going to pull the rifle and putting on the counter.
I didn't think we were measuring dick length, but sure. What's this for?
You said you have some kind of experience
Yes.
with artifacts, right?
Certain things, yes.
I found that gun belonged to my father.
Mm-hmm. May I?
Can you examine it? Is there any way you can maybe find a track of an organization of, or maybe a design thing who could maybe give me an hint?
Mm-hmm.
You seem like, educated.
She picks it up
In
and
guns.
you can both see she is very skilled in handling firearms. The effortless way that she basically goes over this weapon, checks it, everything. Clocks the caliber, clocks everything to do with it. And she looks at you and she's like, interesting. And she takes a deep breath and she focuses on the weapon. It appears. She goes, huh. Where did you get this?
It was my father's. Before his removal by Sable.
Huh. Curious. Well, I don't know if you're aware, but this definitely carries more than your average firearm.
Yeah, sure. Nick here actually helped me with, the thing I can't see. I just say that.
How bloody were your hands the first time you picked it up?
Very.
Shows. Carrying a little bit of him around with you everywhere you go.
Maybe. But you mean literally?
I don't know. Did you lick the blood?
No.
Well, then there you go.
It
Not
was-
literally. Personally, I've never been a fan of, consuming things from other people like that because it kind of messes with the aura and all the energy. Not a good thing. But no, this is definitely someone else held a lot with this weapon before you. And she breaks it back down, puts it back in the case, hands it to you. Sort of tucks hers back under the shelf. But it's been 10 minutes, boys. I've got money to make.
Enjoy making your money.
Thank you.
Question. You still at the
Answer.
museum?
Let's see if it matches.
You still at the museum?
For now.
I'll think about your offer. I'll either be there or I won't be.
I will say, Granny, I will have a quick chat with you. I'm going to let the rest of the cell know what was talked about in that regard, as I don't think it would be in good faith after everything that just happened to randomly have two of us make a big decision like that. But I wanted you to know that after all of this is said and done, I think people would rather take it than leave it at this point, considering you're about the only one in this city that knows that we can trust.
And Deb.
Who's Deb?
She's going to
I
chuckle.
Once he starts laughing, Dick can't help but laugh. She's a fan. Don't worry about that. That's a story we'll tell you later. Make your money, Miss Granny. And Dick kind of grabs Victor like with a brotherly kind of older brotherly kind of like you knucklehead, walks off.
So you
Yeah,
guys head off.
the only thing she can hear before the door closes is, I was forced to do that.
You guys head off and you're able to spend just a pleasant day. The remainder of the day you go and check out a couple of shipwrecks. Go and have a look around a few places. There are some beautiful shipwrecks. Wonderful, you can snorkel very easily to access them. And it is calm and peaceful. You don't find any treasure per se, with the exception of that peace and quiet that maybe you need at the moment. I will say you can both make me a quick wits and investigation, and then we will be moving on. Just to see if you do find anything at all.
Okay, that's 4 on a crit on 2 dice. So, dear God. And I did spend another willpower.
Yep. Victor?
Investigation is not my cup of tea, per se.
Okay. Still, take a sip.
Okay. Why it's not working properly? Okay, 2 successes.
Okay.
On a pool of 3, so it's my best.
2 successes. You don't really find anything massively interesting. You do, again, find that lovely peace and quiet you've been looking for with all of the chaos. Because there is something that almost touches you to your core when you're below the surface of the water. The calm, the almost eerie, otherworldly feeling of being down and among the wrecks. The water's a little chilly, but it's refreshing. Nick, on one of the wrecks you do go to visit, because there are 3 within range of each other, you see a little glimmer, a little shine just under the sand. You swim down, and you actually do find a small knife. It appears to have been there for a little bit. It is a slightly more modern blade. Oddly modern. Looks like maybe someone lost it on a dive or went over the side of a boat. But you do pick it up as you get up on the shore. There is a symbol carved in the handle. Just a pentagram, nothing massive. But the blade is slightly different. Looks like somebody's tried to dip it in something.
I don't know if this would necessarily, but I want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
He now has thwart with recognition with his thwart.
Mm-hmm.
So if he were to activate his thwart to use recognition, would it pick up any like hints of an aura or anything like that?
You can try. I will allow you to try, but the difficulty is going to be pretty high.
Well, this is a good pull for Elmo, so let's go. Why not? No harm in trying. Okay. And that's... I have to activate the thwart, and then based on that, we'll determine...
Yep. So you need to make your edge test, which I believe for you is intelligence occult? Composure occult.
Composure?
Composure occult. For thwart.
Yeah. And that's a difficulty 4?
Yes. Well, it's composure occult. I'm not telling you the difficulty. Because this is slightly different.
So okay, gotcha.
Yes, because you're asking me to use the edge in a way that it's not normally used, I am adjusting the difficulty accordingly.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
And because I can, I'm going to spend another willpower. 5? Probably not.
There is a slight aura of something, but you're not sure if you're just picking up on there's pentagram inscribed on it, someone scratched it in, or if it is the dip. You're not entirely sure.
Can Nick parse out what it was tried to be dipped in?
It seems like another metal. At this point in time, you'd need to take it back and test it and fiddle around with it.
We'll get William to do that.
But we are going to leave the boys with finishing off their lovely day of snorkeling and enjoying the beach. And we're going to cross to the sisters. Now, Ella and Emory, you guys were going on a little trip to go and visit Dustin McLaren, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So what is it you were just planning on going to talk?
That's the plan. To get some answers.
You also have the 2 pages from the binder that that Nick left at the safe house that he got off Sarah. That you can take with you if you want to.
Yep.
Nick was planning on trying to send that through to Sable to sort of like smooth things over a bit, maybe. Whether or not you choose to get Dustin to send them through or not is up to you guys.
Sure.
But you get up in the morning, go about your morning's business, however you choose to. Workouts, coffee. I don't know.
Nursing hangover.
And about 10:30, 11 o'clock, are you going to message, call Dustin, or are you just going to turn up? Where are you going to turn up to? What are you doing? Talk to me.
Assumedly, he has like a law office or something.
Down in Sarasota, yes.
Call that number.
Yeah, we'll call him up.
You were given his personal number on a card,
Yeah, we'll call that one.
Yeah.
so you call him up. He answers the call, and you just hear him. This is Dustin McLaren. How can I help you?
Hello, Dustin. It is Emory, and you are on speakerphone.
Morning, ladies. How can I be of service for both of you?
We would like to have a discussion with you. We have some questions that we just want to kind of clear our minds up, and we prefer to do it in person.
Okay, has there been another issue in regards to the current situation?
Not particularly an issue, just get some questions that are just popping up that not quite making sense.
Apologies for the interruption. Sometimes in the world of darkness, technical difficulties can arise. And you're witnessing one of those. During the remainder of this episode, not only did Ella and Emory discover some rather haunting and disturbing moments and information about their family, one of which was a revelation that one Dustin McLaren was actually their maternal grandfather and his sister, Daisy, his great aunt Daisy. While the two sisters grappled with this information, we also then crossed to William and learnt some very heavy facts about Sable Enterprises itself, about its history, the depths that they went to, and how long it's truly been around. It is a great loss to have not been able to show you the rest of this episode. However, please join us next week to catch up on where the team's at and just to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Because with Sable Enterprises, the darkness is just the beginning.
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. What the Hell Is That? Is produced in agreement with the World of Darkness and Darkback. The storyteller for What the Hell Is That is Cole. Tonight's characters were voiced by Sam, Nabbers, John, Kingdom, and Nexus. Visit our website at stpbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bangs, stakes, and claws out.